And welcome back to Hannity. Thousands of fast food workers in 7 cities walked off the job today, protesting what they call unlivable wages. Now, workers protested in New York City, Chicago, St. Louis, Detroit, saying that while the fast food companies are making billions, the workers cannot get by on the minimum wage of $7.25 an hour, and they want effectively to double that amount, and they're asking to get paid $15 an hour. Take a look.
We're not going to get there incrementally by getting people to a place where they're breaking into the middle class. We live in the most expensive city in this country, New York City, where rents are approaching $2,000 a month. You can't afford to pay rent on $9, $10 an hour, which is why fast food workers are advocating a living wage of $15 an hour, which the corporations can't afford. They're making billions and billions of profit. Their CEOs and their executives are making millions and millions every single year. They can afford to give workers a raise.
But as this fight about what makes a livable wage spreads, there's one person who does not seem to be paying attention. That's President Obama. He's preparing to head on out to the swanky Martha's Vineyard once again. It'll be his 4th vacation on the island. Of course, he's had multiple vacations, playing golf, concerts, and then many times to Hawaii. And the White House has not said yet where the first family will be staying. It's rumored to be in a $7.6 million mansion. How nice. And joining us now, Patricia Murphy, politics editor of Citizen Jane, and Melissa Francis of the Fox Business Network. The AP had an article today talking about what 4 out of 5 Americans are going to be struggling to just barely make ends meet in the course of their life, right? Is it that bad?
I think it's absolutely true. I think that is not what this fight at McDonald's is all about. I mean, you see these people talking and they're saying that this is not a livable wage. A part-time job at McDonald's is not meant to be a livable wage. You look at the people who have this job, more than half of them are 16 to 24 years old. More than half of them do something else with the rest of their time, like go to school. This is a way to get into the workforce. And yes, those folks are right. You cannot support a family on a job at McDonald's, but that's not what a first-time part-time job is supposed to be about.
Yeah, that's a good point. Patricia, your reaction?
Well, my reaction is that for everyone for whom it's a part-time job, for other people it's a full-time job, and they are trying to support their families. For McDonald's, they are paying people to work 40 hours a week who are currently living in poverty. People who work at McDonald's literally cannot order at McDonald's. They cannot feed their family at McDonald's because they are getting paid so little. And I think it's well within these worker rights to ask for $15 an hour. McDonald's doesn't have to give them $15 an hour, but I think that people who go to McDonald's, go to Wendy's, should think about the fact that the people...
what would happen, though, if you raise the wage to $15 an hour? That money has to come from somewhere. It doesn't come from a money tree. So you can either raise prices, you can fire workers, or you can cut into margins. If they raise prices, a more expensive burger, they're going to sell fewer of them. It has the same effect down the line. They don't have the pricing power around the world. They can't cut into margins right now, whatever you believe. Most of these are small franchise business owners that don't have those margins. And if you think McDonald's is a big, bad global corporation, then do you honestly believe they would cut into margins? What they're going to do is they're going to cut back on workers, and they're going to cut back on labor. They have a certain amount of money that they spend on labor. And whether you have 10 people or you have 12 people, it's the same rate. So you pay those people more, you're going to have fewer of them there.
Okay, well, speaking of the fact that money doesn't grow on trees, for people who are living in poverty working at McDonald's, those people are on food stamps. That money doesn't grow on trees. Those are federal taxpayer dollars going to feed families for people who work at McDonald's. So McDonald's,
Patricia,
that is another form of corporate welfare. They are not paying their people enough to feed their families.
Patricia, are you willing to pay twice the amount of money you pay for a Wendy's quarter pounder with cheese or a McDonald's quarter pounder with cheese? Do you think most Americans are?
Yes.
You are. And you think most Americans are?
I think most Americans think that if another American works 40 hours a week, they're not on food stamps.
I think that's most Americans are worried about the fact that they are having trouble paying their own bills. I mean, Sean was just talking about it. 4 out of 5 people have had a hard time living above, have felt economically threatened. Those people aren't going to buy a more expensive cheeseburger. They're going to not buy a cheeseburger at all. They're going to do something else different. It's simple economics. You got to take the emotion out of it and just look at the math, and you can see you're going to sell fewer cheeseburgers, or you're going to employ fewer people if you raise the wage. There's no other way around it.
Well, I think, I don't think it's emotional to say that people need to make a living wage, particularly if they're living in large cities.
It's not going to happen in a part-time job at McDonald's.